Welcome back to the channel Save Text. In today's podcast, we are inviting Manvi, a well-known face, a person who returned back to India after spending 7 years in USA. Now she is in India from last 2 years. So we want to know her journey, how she used to work there and how she is feeling now. So hi Manvi, how are you? Already you are a well-known face in India. You are running a big community, Desh Vapsi in India, and you are helping a lot of people returning to India. So how are you? How are you doing?
Yeah, hi Shubham. First of all, thank you so much for having me here. And we are feeling great. This Deshwapsi thing, entire thing is like my baby now. So very close to my heart. So thank you for having me. Let the world know my about my journey. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Many people come like they have doubts like whether should we go to India or not. So we have many questions from people around us. So let's start with the first. You are a well-known face, well-known influencer. You are already running a big community, Deshwapsi. So what was your real reason behind coming to India after spending so many time in USA? So
Okay.
may I know why you made that decision to come to India?
Okay, this is a very, very oftenly asked question from us that we spent 7 years in US and my son was literally 8 months when we took him there. So a lot of people asked me that what was the reason for you guys to come back? So for us, the reason was pretty simple. When we went from here, that was on work visa for my husband's work assignment. So we knew somewhere down the line that it's not for good that we're going. We have to come back. So वो बोलते बोलते ही a lot of time went by. Then COVID hit, and then after COVID, we saw so much tragedies happening back in India with our friends and all, like their uncles, their parents, and we saw a lot of families who saw their near and dear ones. They're losing their near and dear ones in COVID, but they still were not able to go. So that was basically the turning point that one of my very close friends, she lost her dad, and even her husband, he also lost his dad, but they couldn't go due to COVID and visa restrictions. So that was like a kind of a game changer. We said no, abhi bahut ho gaya. It's been like 6 years. We have to take a call. तो वो करते 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 2003 was the final nail in the coffin कि अभी we have to go. So there were a lot of questions from our friends, lot of doubts, even which we have, especially regarding my kids, because we ultimately we have been born and brought up in India. So for us, it wouldn't be that much of a transition, but for the kids, it's a big thing to uproot them from the country which they are growing, and then take them back to a country which is foreign to them. Like for us, US is foreign, for them India is foreign because they haven't been to India that much. So but still we had to take a call because a very important reason we came back was my in-laws. My husband, he's the only son, so we wanted to support them in the old age. We wanted to be there near them. So that was the reason, primary reason for us to come back to India, to be near to our near and dear ones. Plus I also wanted to give my kids an Indian upbringing, because a kid can turn American very easily, but to make him an Indian, to give him an Indian values which we have, it's very difficult to do that when we are abroad. If, for instance, if you see my son, he's totally Americanized. Still, he carries a very Americanized accent. But now, after 2 years in India, my God, you can see the changes in him. He's like relating with his grandparents. जब यूएस में थे, he never used to talk to them online. कभी भी सामने नहीं आता था, बात नहीं करता था. His Hindi was not in place. But now at least he has that kind of language that he can communicate with his grandparents. So I feel कि इस stage पे अगर उनको we do not give exposure to the family, cousins, then they will never connect with them. And they'll be like just a sole identity, being a foreigner, and not the Indian roots, they totally die then. So that was the reason, two reasons we came back to India.
Okay. वैसे we are connected from so long, and I have seen you like you are connected to roots so much. So I want to ask, like, when you returned to India, what was your first felt that you are in India right now? What was your that emotional part that you are in India in your early life when you returned to India?
Okay, to be very frank, returning back to India is never easy. It's a emotional turmoil. It's an emotional roller coaster you go through. From months, the months we were preparing to come back to India, every day I used to question myself: Is it the right thing we are doing? What if my kids couldn't adjust? There were a lot of what ifs and doubts. And believe me, that instant moment was not a happy moment when we landed in India. We left something really precious behind. So instantly when we landed, for us, we landed in a motherland, but my son was constantly, I still remember those words. He was so tired when we landed on Delhi airport. And he was sitting on the floor when we were on the immigration, this thing, a queue. He was sitting on the floor. He's like, Mama, can we go back home? Mama, can we go back home? My God, that was the only moment I couldn't control my tears. And I literally burst into like crying in India when we landed in India, because my son was like, let's go back home. Because for him, home was what
It's
we had in
USA.
US,
Okay.
right? So that was a very emotional moment for me. So वो happiness instantly नहीं आई, वो instantly थोड़ा सा वही था कि भाई कैसे होगा, क्या होगा. मतलब आई एम गिविंग अ वेरी फ्रैंक ओपिनियन. आई एम नॉट सेइंग हम
बट
इंडिया
वो
आए
एक
और एम्ब्रेस कर लिया हमने, ऐसे नहीं हुआ हमारे संग. इनिशियल धीरे 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 धीरे, now down the line 2 years, I would say now is the real happiness we experiencing.
okay. Mixed emotions हो गए, like your kids are from US now and you're from India, तो mixed emotions हमें घेर के चलेंगे. Now you settled in Pune. So may I know how was the difference between the city you were living in America and Pune? May I know a big differences how it's go through?
Yes, yes, sure. In US, we were not in a city, we were in suburbs.
Okay.
So basically, if अगर आप देश बोले तो we used to say we are in an American गांव. हम अमेरिका के गांव में थे.
Okay.
But there were no people around.
Sorry.
6 months from October to March, we wouldn't even see birds around. It was so lonely. It was snowy winters, and we were all packed into houses. There were literally no people around. I remember my dad used to call me, and if I used to show him out of the window, he's like, "Oh my God, तुम लोग रहते कैसे हो वहाँ पे? वहाँ पे तो चिड़िया भी दिखती नहीं है. आदमी तो छोड़ दो. There are no birds also." So I like, this is the life we're used to now. So वहाँ पे it was a very serene and a calm life, like beautiful environment, garden, and very peaceful life. But when we came back to India, of course, in India, I don't think so there's any city which is that much, which will give you that much of peace now, be it metros, be it tier two city. But we were very clear that we are not going to any metros now, because we've already, when we went to US, we went from Mumbai. So we had an option to return to Mumbai. But I did not want to get into the hassle of the metro life. So we chose Pune very, very much on purpose, because Pune, till date, it is a kind of city which will give you all the luxuries of a big city, big this thing, and also all the conveniences of a small town. So that was the reason we chose Pune as a base. And plus, we also have a family here. My husband's sister is in Pune, and my sister is in Pune. So we have two immediate family members in Pune. So that was a comfort zone. So that was the reason we chose to come to Pune.
Okay. So you have the reason to choose Pune, like your family is settled in Pune.
Yeah.
So we are having many metro cities in India as well.
Yeah.
So may I know what factors should people think while they are returning to India, like whether they should go to like Bangalore, Delhi, Pune, Bombay, or some city, small city like Jaipur. So
Yeah.
what do you think? What factors they should consider it to returning to India, mainly as NRI?
Okay. Perfect. I think for this one, the main and sole reason would be the job, where the job is taking a person. Because I've seen so many families of Delhi settling in Hyderabad or settling in Bangalore. Why? Because of the job. So basically, a person would definitely take a call as per the job, because metro cities have the maximum amount of IT jobs. So those are the places where people tend to settle. And since I have so many Deshwapsi communities, so I would say Hyderabad, Bangalore, Pune, Mumbai. These four cities are the most flourishing in terms of return to India candidates. So, of course, because of job opportunities. And plus, I think all these cities have grown that much that they provide those kind of safe spaces, those are kind of gated communities to NRIs, and international schools to NRIs, that it really is a cakewalk for any NRI family to settle down in these cities.
So, after returning from USA, like, may I know what was your like biggest lifestyle hack shock that you seen in your first coming weeks or months?
Okay. See, frankly speaking, for us, nothing was a shock because we
Okay.
are Indian born. But yes, for my kid, if you ask, there were a lot of shocks and
Okay.
a lot of things like, oh my God, what's happening like that? Like, first of all, the bugs, the mosquitoes. I remember we were staying with our sister and there were a lot of mosquitoes at night. And he literally couldn't sleep whole night saying, Mama, there are a lot of bugs. Mama, look, there's so many bugs. And he was like running around. He couldn't even tolerate one bug or fly near him. So that was point number one. Point number two, we took him out for a walk, and she lives in a very congested market. And we took him out, and he's like, "Oh my God, Mama, look at the cars they're bumping into," because he has only seen that aligned traffic, all cars going in one lane. Like there's no indiscipline. But here, as he came and he saw कि कहीं भी कुछ भी जा रहा है, anybody is going from anywhere. So he's like, Mama, look, the cars are bumping. Look, I think it looks like a bumping game. Everybody is bumping into each other. So for him, it was a kind of very new thing to see all these. Then plus animals, dogs on the streets. That was one thing. We were coming from this Bombay to Pune. So on the highway, we stopped by a restaurant, and there were some stray dogs. And my son was like, he was jumping and running, and then he just went and pet a dog, stray dog. So I was like, oh my God, he was shot. And we just pulled him. I like, what are you doing? He's like, Mama, it's a dog. I'm petting a dog. So he's like, you cannot pet a dog, stray dog. He's like, what is stray dog? For him, he in his vocabulary, there's nothing called stray dogs. Because
Okay.
in US, all dogs are pet dogs. And
Okay.
all dogs have owners. And
Okay.
all owners give you, if the dog is friendly, they'll say, yeah, dog is friendly, you can pet the dog.
Okay.
But here we have stray dog, and he wasn't aware of that. So that was very funny, but very scary too. Then I had to literally like keep telling him every single time, you cannot touch stray dogs, you cannot pet stray dogs. So yeah, little training went into it, but now he knows that stray dogs and pet dogs. Now he knows the concept.
Okay, like going on the same point as you mentioned, like for the traffics and all. So may I know like how your normal life, like your groceries, your traffic systems, and how was it? Like it was easier there or easier here, harder? Like I want to know the comparison.
Okay, perfect. So the only reason people don't want to return to India is traffic, pollution, corruption, congestion, crowd. So traffic definitely very bad. We couldn't like for me, I couldn't go out in the market for like months because the smoke and the environment would choke my throat. So for months I had this choked throat. Even like obviously being 7 years there, we're used to very clean air. So that was a trouble initial transition hitch for us. And in terms of one thing which is brilliant in India, brilliant I would say, it is nowhere in the world, that is convenience.
Okay.
इतना कन्वीनियंस कहीं कोई देश में नहीं है। मतलब यहाँ बैठे बैठे फ्रॉम पिन टू प्लेन यू कैन गेट एट होम। आपको प्लेन भी मंगाना होगा तो आप रियल प्लेन घर पे ऑर्डर कर सकते हो। तो इट्स लाइक इट्स सो कन्वीनियंट, everything is just under your nose. We have a market under your nose, groceries, veggies, everything fresh. So that is very convenient because in US we used to plan our groceries well ahead in time, and we every 3 weeks used to do groceries once कि अगर कुछ खत्म भी हो गया तो 3 हफ्ते हम उसके बिना ही काम चलाएंगे। So it's like because we had an Indian grocery store 45 minutes from us.
Okay.
So we couldn't, we had to plan well ahead of time and we had to get everything at once and then stock our fridge and all. But here we don't have that hassle. Every day is a new day. You get milk, you get everything. Their milk, we used to like the milk can used to go for around 10-15 days, one milk can. So lifestyle is very different, but convenience is definitely one thing people should, if somebody is looking for convenience, house helps and all, India is the best place to be.
Like you said, you were in India before, and then you moved to US, then you came back to India. Now, in that time, you had a kid. So while returning to India, there are many documentation issues facing by you, like Aadhaar card for your
Yeah.
kid. So how was the journey about those documentation? Like let me talk about NRI, NRO accounts, bank accounts, whatever. So how was your experience with those situations in India?
Okay, now these things is not only for us, but for every NRI returning to India, these are a great hassle. As in, I know in my Pune group itself, we have a big Pune Deshbhakti community. Like the core discussion is always about Aadhaar card. Have anybody done Aadhaar card? What are the documents required? And then there, it's a great hassle also. As in, it's not a cakewalk. It's not that easy because all the Aadhaar cards in India, they're not equipped to handle an OCI kid. So it's a trouble. Then even NRI, NRO can't. Though I am not a person who looks into it. I'm not very well versed with it. My husband does all these financial things for us. But yes, it is definitely hassle because not everybody is so well aware. So, but in this, our expert advisors, Visament, they really came in handy. They chipped in, they gave us advices, and they've done a lot of stuff for us. So Visament have come really handy after our transition back to India, and I have also recommended Visament to all my Deshwapsi communities, all my groups. So I'm sure with the help of experts, these things will ease out a bit for us.
So when you returned to India, like how was your family reactions? Like it was a joy or a mix of what?
It was like you could say my in-laws came to pick us up at the airport, and it was like tears of joy. The tears of joy, you would say. My mother-in-law had tears. I'm getting goosebumps saying these things. But yes, my mother-in-law had tears, and looking at her, the way they hugged us, I also felt a little emotional. Okay, yes, this thing. My son couldn't connect. Of course, he has his reason not to connect instantly. So, but yes, they were really happy, and their faces made us feel that was the time we felt no, we literally taking the right decision, because if they are so happy, of course this is what we've come here for. So yeah, it was wonderful to see them, and it was a kind of surprise also. We were not aware that all these people are coming to take us.
Okay.
So it was a joyous moment, a joyous, like a very, what do you say, the emotional moment for everybody of us.
Actually, it is the power of India actually.
Yeah.
Like connect कर जाते हैं यही तो
ये
ताकत इंडिया की.
फैमिली कम्युनिटी ये सब है, तो ये बाहर नहीं है। बाहर है जो भी है, हम चार, फैमिली ऑफ 4 इज व्हाट इट इज, बट यहाँ पे फैमिली ऑफ 8 और 10 12, सो दैट्स अ जॉय ऑफ लिविंग कम्युनिटी, जॉय ऑफ लिविंग दिस
Like
फैमिली।
what we think in India is we are living for families only. I don't think so. Like people are like money is an external thing, but we are living for families in India. So it is a big thing for us. So right now, like you back to India. So what do you think? Like you are completely India or somewhere in between in India and US? What do you think?
Okay, now having spent 7 years there and seeing so much of the world there, the first world country there, so I would say my heart is here, but definitely sometimes my mind wanders there. Like there are some things which of course India cannot have in any course because of the tropical environment or climate of the country. So like the textbook seasons we experience in US, like fall colors. Right now it's the fall time in US, so I literally miss the fall colors so much. In the morning I went for morning walk, it was all green, but if we were in US it would be all colorful, like yellow, red, purple, green, all color, beautiful it is. So I miss that scenic beauty, natural landscapes, and then not to forget cleanliness. We live in a township. They have plenty of staff workers, cleaning workers, and everything, but still उसके बावजूद भी there are people who litter around, like झाड़ों के पीछे there'll be like teacups, there were water bottles. So seeing all these things, I feel a little sad at times that so much we living in such a premium community in the city, and still there are people who are doing all this. So it's all about the mindset. And the same people, if they go abroad, they would never dare to throw a teacup anywhere or a bottle anywhere. So I feel these basic things is something I and what for me, I always adapt good things from everywhere. So if somebody criticizes me कि ये तो इसको तो अमेरिका जाना है, इसको तो अभी भी यूएस की याद आती है, तो it is not like that. It is the good things which I've seen there, which I wish they were in India, like cleanliness, hygiene, civic sense in people. One more thing which hits me hard every time when I see it, ambulance. Like I have witnessed like plethora of times, if there is an ambulance siren in US, so kahin se bhi aa raha, they automatically there'll be a way for the ambulance. Even the cars would go on the pavements, on the walkway. They would just dash into the walkways. It is so beautiful. Like I literally like, oh God, like what's like ambulance is like a life of a person for them. For us, my God, like nobody there to give way to the ambulance. Like the first time I came to India, I was with my sister. I experienced this. I made a video on this. It was terrible. Like why wouldn't anybody? Obviously, people say there's no way. There's so much crowd. But if there's a will, there's a way, I feel. Jitna
Yeah.
bhi crowd ho, if you stop your cars, try to give, it goes. But here what happens? People try to go with the ambulance. That ambulance will make way. Let us just tag along with the ambulance and go fast with the ambulance. So people need to work more on the civics sense and kindness, compassion. I think kindness and compassion is one thing I've learned from US. So much kindness and compassion is all around. Everybody is compassionate, very kind. But ठीक है, at the end अब मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि इंडिया में इतना क्राउड है जो कहते हैं डेली लाइफ स्ट्रगल्स है, तो काइंडनेस और कंपैशन इज समथिंग वेरी बिहाइंड, लाइक ठीक है पहले हम कर लें फिर देखेंगे किसी और का, लाइक दैट. या सो दैट्स द
As you talked
थिंग.
about will, and so I have seen you a lot. Like you are very compassionate about your Deshwapsi group. Like you are helping many NRIs coming back to India. So may I know any emotional moment with these things, like from past 2 years? A simple emotional moments have you seen? And I want to know something about your communities as well, like how you are growing, how you are helping others to come back to India. So what do you think about this?
Okay. Like all this started with my Insta page, Momo Boys. And as I've shared with you previously too, like it all happened very accidentally. I started filming my journey when we were packing up, wrapping up from US. So I started the Day Shopping series. So I have the 30 episodes of Day Shopping series when we were in US, wrapping up and all the emotional moments. Everything was very emotional for me. Like even a person taking a piece of furniture from our house, that used to make me very emotional. Oh my god, my TV is going away, my this thing is going away, like that. So we started like that. So we had 30 episodes in US, and the day we were flying, I had around 600 followers in US. So
Okay.
the day I was flying, I was in the flight. My followers zoomed up to 12K, just from
Indian
US to
US.
India. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so it was like I when I landed in India, I had around 12K followers instantly. So I said, this is it, this is the purpose. Maybe I consider it is as a farewell gift from US, or maybe a welcoming gift from India. So that this my Insta account is a gift to me. It's a sign to me to help others in this transition journey. That's my, if you see my Insta account is very raw. It do not have any made up things, no filters. If something is not good about India, I'll say it's not good. If something is good about India, I'll say it's good. So down the line, if you see, I have all the good things to talk about India, but still, if I see litter around, I criticize India, that this is, we need to improve on, right? So जो मेरी communities हैं, I help them transition to India. So I used to get when we landed in India, I had around 1,200 messages in my inbox, Insta inbox.
Oh.
So I took around 3 months to answer them, and I made sure I had to answer them. Somehow I felt I'm responsible, I'm accountable for everybody coming back to India. Something वैसा कुछ हो गया. So I started answering each and everybody of them, and धीरे धीरे, you know how it happens, a cycle. I kept on helping without any purpose, without any gain in my mind. So धीरे धीरे it came back to me. People started appreciating me. Oh my God, what wonderful work you're doing. Thank you so much. Because of you, we could transition back. Because of you, I also have 2 boys. I relate to you so much. So वो जो messages जो आते हैं ना, those are the emotional moments. Those are the things which keep me going. Because trollers तो हम मेरे अकाउंट पे तो भर भर के मिलेंगे आपको trollers, right? But I do not focus on the negatives. I only focus on the positive, the people whom I'm able to help. मैंने 100 families की भी help की settle down होने में, so I've done a big job.
100
So I
families
think,
बहुत होता है.
my coming back to India has been with a purpose. Now this is my purpose, to help other people settle well in the country. So uske liye then I started getting a lot of requests कि why do you only help Pune people? What we've done? We want to go to Bangalore. You help us also. So uske keeping in mind, we started WhatsApp communities, city-wise communities for all people who are planning to return to India. मे बी आप 1 महीने में आ रहे हो, 6 महीने में, 1 साल या 2 साल. But if you want to know your city in India well, you want to know about the schools, you want to know about the communities, we've made city-wise groups for all the cities. You can join them, and it's a very collaborative group, as in families helping families. Families who've already come, they've settled well, transitioned, they help the other families. So it's a teamwork basically.
You are just growing your communities to help others. Like
Yes.
those are also Indians. Those who are returning, those are also Indians.
Yes.
So we are just helping them out how to settle back to India.
Of
So
course.
may I know one truth after about returning to India? Like NRIs should know. Like many people don't tell them, but one guidance from your side that people should know.
Okay, one thing which I feel everybody should know is that जब हम आने के लिए होते हैं तो हम बहुत anxious होते हैं. We are very very worried about a kid especially. So just hang in there. Do not worry. If at all you have planned to come to India, come with a positive mindset. And India is a beautiful country. It's our motherland. It embraces everybody, not only us, it embraces foreigners well. So you don't need to worry. Come along with a positive mindset. You and your kids will love the country as my kids are doing, and you'll settle in well. And down the line, with time, you will think, yeah, this is the right thing we've done at the right time, at the right age of the kids.
So when we talk about this, may I know like which is the best city for like people with families with kids to settle down? I'm just talking about respectively with families with kids. So may I know which city you prefer?
Okay, see, if you ask my personal opinion, I've already shared with you. I prefer Pune because we were in Bombay for a long time. But for every family, it would be a different city. As,
Okay,
as I told you, job is the first priority for city. City in India, every metro has the facilities, and every metro have international schools for kids.
okay.
So maybe I prefer to come here, but there's a family who has their parents in Delhi. So of course they like to go to Delhi and settle. So every country have those. Every city, metro city, or and a city tier two city like Pune, Indore, they have kind of communities and schools which everybody can settle in well. So it totally depends on the personal preferences of the families where
Okay.
they want to settle in. Yeah,
So you think all cities are good for returnees?
of course, of course, of course. Yes, yes, yes.
So may I know any mistakes that are happening again and again from returnees, like for financials, for lifestyle, as you have seen a lot of people coming back to India. So may I know any regular mistakes in financials and in lifestyle people should avoid?
Yeah, see, I would not say mistakes, but I would reframe it as that there are a lot of apprehensions, lot of questions which people have, financial questions which people have when they're returning to India, like NRA in your account, taxation, double taxation, then this 401k, and there are a lot of things which I might not be very well aware about, as I'm not a very financial person. My husband's look into it. So it's like, but uh, all these things can be sorted well if you have a nice expert with you. So in our case, it is Safe Tax. So they have been helping and guiding us in all our financial decisions. And as of now, by God's grace, I don't think we have done any financial mistake or financial this thing. I think you should definitely hire an expert who have a knowledge of Indian and US
US
taxation
taxes.
both to get that initial transition into place, financial transition into place, because that plays a very very big role in transitioning. Because I tell all the families in India, if you have money, you're the king. You can hire 10 helps. You can have every luxury of your life at your disposal. Unlike in US you're earning the same amount, but you cannot have all the luxuries of life. You have to cook by yourself, you have to clean by yourself, you have to do everything by yourself until unless you're a billionaire like like other. That's a different ball game. But all the Indians earning very highly paid also, they do all the work by themselves. So it's like money part is very important. इंडिया आओ तो इतना कमा के आओ, इतना लेके आओ कि आराम से रह सको आप.
Abhi, as you are running communities and already you have back friends in USA. So
Yeah.
may I know how they are taking this H1B 100,000 penalties? So what do you think about this?
The day this news came out, I remember all our groups of US were buzzing. Oh my God, what's happening? Looks like we have to pack our bags and go. And they're like, Manvi, you are in Pune, right? Okay, we are coming back to Pune. We are coming back to. So I told them, don't worry, wherever you go, I am there to help and support you. Don't worry. So of course there was a lot of panic. The day it was announced that there's a lot of panic, but a day after they came up with the clarifications and all. So it was a little better for the existing people who are already there. It's like panic has to be there now. It would be there next 4 years. There would be panic. because the kind of administration is there now. It is not a very pro-Indian administration. So they are living very unsettled in uncertain conditions. And that is one thing which keeps me very relieved. Good we came back. Good we came back, because we cannot live with so much stress on our head every time. That what if tomorrow I don't have a job? What if tomorrow I have to go back to India? I've got a house. What do I do with the house? How my kids will adjust, like that? Because we came by choice. So for us, it was very easy and we came with a positive mindset. But for a person whose visa gets rejected, their homecoming is very different, very, very different. They cannot think anything. They're like, the life is destroyed, everything is finished. Now what? Instead of thinking, oh God, they're going to the motherland. They're going to the place where they've been born and brought. So that's fine. It's gonna be fine. But that's not the mindset of a person who have to come to India by force. So a lot of uncertainty is there, and it's going to be there for next 4 years. So I am guessing that everybody would have to be prepared for that uncertainty. कि कल क्या आ जाए announcement पता नहीं. So they are very uncertain, but still the people who have to live there, they will live there till the round they are not thrown out. So that is in very raw terms if I say. So they will be there till the time they have to be there. Yeah.
ऐसा चलने वाला है Indian return is so
See, I don't want anybody to come by force. I want people to come by choice, because most of the families whom I mentor, they have come by choice. Like even you won't believe the families who've lived there 20 years, 22 years. They all have come back by choice. Acha, they come back by choice only because they know the monotonous life, mechanical life they have to live there. So they feel कि old age के लिए तो India better है.
old age.
Yeah, so for me, I mentor most of the families who've come back by choice. And even by four, that's fine. But eventually, slowly and gradually, they merge into the crowd. Everything settles in well.
Okay, as you have talked about like retirement के लिए तो इंडिया ही बेटर है. तो इस पे मैं पूछना चाहूंगा कि कुछ ऐसे लोग रहे हों, ऐसे कम्युनिटीज में पीपल आपके पास आए हो जो इंडिया रिटर्निंग बैंक हो, बट लास्ट टाइम मतलब उनके रिटायरमेंट के टाइम पे, तो उनका कुछ एक्सपीरियंस आप जो आपको याद आया हो या फिर कुछ ऐसा पॉइंट?
No, like इतने रिटायरमेंट वाले एज के तो अभी कोई भी नहीं है. But yes, you would say they are in their 45, 50s. So it's like yes, but they prefer to be here because they said life is very mundane there. As in same mechanical things like करना है, मतलब अभी करना है, बुढ़ापे में तक भी वो करना है. So they said better we go to India, raise our kids in India, and then send them back to US. Most of the people who are in my community, they all have US citizen kids. So eventually everybody knows kids are gonna go back to US. But they by choice want to live in India. So that's why they're making the base here now.
At last, I want to know one single line for NRI returning back from you, Manvi. Like what you want to suggest or what help you want to help them.
Okay. So I would like to tell all the people who have coming back to India in their mind that Mom of Boys Manvi Deshwapsi is there with you. Any kind of questions you have, any kind of apprehensions you have, or anything going in your mind, I am just a message away. So just feel free to pour your heart out. We'll be there. We'll listen to you. And I also organize meetups, Deshwapsi meetups, where families meet up, and then they feel that solace. That, oh, you also come back. Oh, I also. Oh, I'm not the only fool to come back. There are a lot of fools like us. So it's like that's like it's a collective feeling. So everybody feels good about it. So don't worry, I'm there to support you. Just message me or call me on my Insta handle. I'm sure Shubham will be posting the my Insta handle in the description, so you can get in touch with me.
Sure. Thank you, Manvi, for your time, for your guidance. Like you're helping a lot of people's returning to India. It's a big thing. Like you are doing for nothing. Like you are just spending your time for doing this. So it's great for us. Thank you for your time. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Shubham. It's my pleasure to be here.